Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Naja Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast, and we begin with breaking news. A brush fire continues to burn right now in Sunrise. You saw it here first at noon. This is along Northwest 115th Way. About 5 acres have burned so far. Officials tell us it is 0% contained. We will have a live report coming up at 5. Let's check in with Next Weather Chief Meteorologist Ivan Cabrera with a look at how the weather is impacting the fire.
The wind is not helping, right? If the brush fire continues to kind of burn and not gain any kind of control, that would be a problem because the winds are very gusty. And usually we can show you smoke on radar. This thing is so small, there is no smoke depicted on radar right now. We're talking about portions of extreme western Broward here. So at the bend there, not the big bend, right? But as you get further down on the Sawgrass there, that is where we're depicting, the winds anywhere from 20 to 25 miles an hour. These are the gusts, sustained winds around 15, and everything's blowing from east to west like it has been for weeks. No big pattern change there. The other thing we look at, not just the humidity and how is it high, is it super low? It's neither. It's kind of in the middle here. So we're looking at relative humidity values of 50%. So that shouldn't be a significant issue. Now the problem is these fires can get going pretty quickly because of the ongoing drought that we have across the area here, and that is allowing for very dry fuel. So you get a fire that sparks and it has the availability to just continue, not just to increase in size, but also because of the wind spread as well. So hopefully, because it's such a small brush fire, that containment is going to be handled rather quickly here by our firefighters there. All right, checking in on the rest of the conditions here. Radar and clouds not showing you much, just a few puffy cumulus clouds that have been coming in and streaming in. You look up at the sky and that's about all you're seeing. There's just no wet weather to be had in Broward, heading down towards Miami-Dade County and looking at the beach. A nice day, a little breezy, and that's a problem always with an east wind because you start getting into the rip current threat, and that's what we've been dealing with the last few days. Next weather rain tracker, not going to show you much for now, but as we take you into Thursday, we'll begin to see a little bit more moisture, right? So that's going to result in a couple of flying showers coming in out of the east, pushing towards inland areas. No accumulation, so this is just just a shower that passes through and it's gone. It's not going to make for any issues on the roadways here whatsoever. Now, as we head into Friday with a little bit more moisture each and every day, we'll likely get in on some higher rain chances here. That is about 20% is what it looks like to me on a Friday and into Friday afternoon. The weekend itself, a little bit wetter, right? So the afternoon thunderstorms will be back into the picture. But if you're making it a beach day, keep in mind this continues through Friday. The rip current risk is going to remain rather high. As far as the rain chances, 10% I think we'll do it for the next couple of days, and then we'll bump those up to about 30 on a Saturday with 40% coverage, the highest here, in 40 to 50 with showers and storms from Sunday into Monday.
Ivan, thank you. We are learning more about the shooting that has a Brickell neighborhood on edge. Police say there is no threat to the community at this hour. CBS News Miami's Maribel Rodriguez is there.
Honestly, I'm very surprised. I usually walk here every morning around 6:30.
Brickell residents concerned to hear that someone was fatally shot on Southwest 1st Avenue and 8th Street in a very busy and what's considered a safe area.
Kind of alerting, it is Brickell. It should be more safe for us.
This all happened at around 12:45 a.m. on Wednesday. Chris Felix says he was walking to a nearby bar when he heard the commotion.
This individual just started arguing with the female. As long as they started fighting, didn't really see much, but till I came across on the street, I've noticed a guy started yelling at her, then shots went off. Then the second shot went off. He came running and went to this apartment. So other than that, it was pretty intense.
Police did confirm a man died on the scene. For several hours, crime scene investigators gathered evidence and set up more than a dozen markers. Also nearby, there was a car with bullet holes, which police say could have been struck by stray bullets.
I'm very shocked. Now I don't know if I can walk this path again.
And police say this may have been a case of self-defense. Maribel will have a live report coming up at 5. And now to a machete attack in Little Havana. It happened at the Sedanos on Flagler Street. A security guard and store manager were both attacked. It happened while they were trying to stop a man who is believed to be stealing from the supermarket. Police say when the security guard confronted him, he hit him with a machete. The suspect then knocked the manager out. 2 witnesses stopped the suspect when he tried to escape. Police later arrested him. Fort Lauderdale police are investigating a deadly shooting from overnight. Police say a man was shot and killed. It happened near Northwest 8th Avenue and 13th Street. No word right now on what led to the shooting or who may be responsible. Attorneys for two of the people who were killed during the mass shooting at Florida State University are speaking out. 45-year-old Tyru Chaba was the executive for the campus food vendor. He died along with 57-year-old Robert Morales. 2 weeks ago, a gunman opened fire around the university's student union. Attorneys for both families are calling for transparency.
Every day that they don't have basic answers to what happened is difficult for them. It's hard to process the grief appropriately without a real understanding of everything that happened on that particular day.
The alleged gunman was the stepson of a local sheriff's deputy. He was a junior at the university. He remains hospitalized after being shot by police that day. He is yet to be formally charged. Extra police officers were at Miramar High School and Everglades High School today. That's as investigators try to figure out who brought guns to Miramar High. On Monday, metal detectors alerted police of a student with an unloaded gun. Then yesterday, police say they found a loaded gun. They say it was wrapped in a T-shirt in the locker room.
Look, a gun on campus is concerning in and of itself, but where it's found is even more concerning. We don't know that it failed today. We don't know how long the weapon's been here. We're not sure what that is. This is the early step, so one of the things that we've got to do is we've got to work backwards to try to figure that out.
Investigators say an 11th grader was arrested on Monday. Happening today, Lucy's Law is headed to the Florida Senate for a vote. The law was named after a 17-year-old. She died in a boating crash during Labor Day weekend in 2022. HB 289 requires boat operators who have not been Florida residents for at least 5 years to get a boater safety card. If the bill passes, it heads to the governor's desk. Now to the Trump presidency. President Trump is urging patience. That's after new government data shows the U.S. economy contracted in the first quarter of 2025. CBS News Miami's Natalie Brand is at the White House, where the president will be joined by a number of CEOs to address the matter this afternoon.
A day after President Trump celebrated the first 100 days of his second term, new government data on the GDP shows the U.S. economy contracted in the first quarter for the first time in 3 years. The Trump administration is downplaying the report.
We had a fairly extraordinary surge of imports that was totally driven by the rest of the world trying to get their products in here before the tariffs took full hold.
In a social media post, the president urged patience and blamed the Biden administration for the numbers.
He didn't leave us with a very good hand. Right now, we see things improving. We see our policies being put into action, and we see very good things.
The economic data comes as the president has invited top business leaders, including CEOs from NVIDIA and Johnson & Johnson, to the White House later this afternoon to tout new investments in the U.S.
But many Americans say they're feeling the pinch now.
Your food went up, gas went up, our wages went down.
Utility bills have went up. Groceries have went sky high.
In an interview with ABC News, the president pushed back on concerns that his tariff strategy is hurting the economy and small businesses.
Everything's going to be just fine. It wouldn't have been if I didn't do this.
While the president has said China wants to make a trade deal, on Wednesday he said there is no update on negotiations. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
When we come back, a consumer alert. GM recalls hundreds of thousands of trucks. We are back with a consumer alert. General Motors is recalling nearly 600,000 Cadillac and GMC trucks and SUVs. It's because their engines can fail without warning, increasing the risk of a crash. The agency says it has received at least 39 reports of incidents. GM says it will send notices to impacted owners for a free repair. And now to a traffic alert, and this is expected to impact a lot of people in South Florida. Road closures begin tomorrow. That's as the Formula One Grand Prix heads back to town. You can expect a lot of traffic around Hard Rock Stadium. Tomorrow, exit 2X in both directions will be closed all day. Friday will bring even more closures. 2X will be closed once again. Tonight, the Florida Panthers will try to clinch their first-round series. It is against the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is Game 5 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Cats are coming off a big win in Game 4. They scored 2 goals in 11 seconds to take home the win. The series moves back to Tampa tonight. Mike Cunha will preview the series tonight at 6. It was a packed house at the Rusty Pelican in Miami for a very good cause. It was all part of the Fuel Her Fire luncheon hosted by Girls Inc. of Greater Miami, and I had the honor of being the event MC. And this group donated more than $21,000 to sponsor girls in the program. Now, several young girls will be able to take part in high-quality after-school programming that inspires them to grow up to be strong, smart, and bold. Girls Inc. founder and CEO Virginia Carr presented community leaders with awards for their outreach work. There's a delicious meal, champagne, and a silent auction. The programs are offered to the girls at absolutely zero cost to their families through the nonprofit organization. And that does it for your CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Naja Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a great day.